Across higher education, presidential speaker series have long honored great thinkers. At Grambling State, we're building on that tradition with something bold, modern, and uniquely ours.
Man, Grambling followed me everywhere I go.
My mother passed away my senior year, and Grambling called me. President Johnson called me and said, no, your mother would have wanted you to finish.
If it were not for Grambling, it transformed me.
I'll see you at the Vanguard. Gram fam, this is from Intent to Influence, the Vanguard podcast series. I am here, as I mentioned, with Dr. Lawrence Weekly. And Dr. Weekly, we spent this morning recruiting future Tigers. And that always gives me excitement to see the joy of young people getting ready to make the decision of their life. Let's go back to when you made that decision to join the Gram fam.
Yeah, it was a tough decision, Mr. President, for me to travel from Las Vegas all the way to Louisiana. But what made the journey a little bit easier for me was my grandmother from Alexandria, Louisiana. So I knew I was an hour and a half or so away from her. So that gave me comfort to know that if things got real tough on me being homesick, I can always go and hang out with my grandma. And so it worked out real well, man. And then the beautiful thing about it for me, Dr. Lemelle, was that the people at Grambling are such family-oriented people. Man, they welcome you into their homes, they feed you, they take care of you, and then they follow up with you to make sure you're going to class. And the great thing I learned from a lot of folks down there in Louisiana was that they're very intentional on making sure that you're okay.
Yes. The word that comes to mind often is accountability. Yeah. And so VP Logan and I, we graduated from Grambling together, and we work together now at GSU, and so we talk about accountability and productivity. Our Miss Grambling and our SGA president went on a panel the other day, and they said that they were accountability partners. Yes. And so if you think back to that time at Grambling, who held you accountable? Do you still have some of those friends and fraternity brothers from Grambling?
I have a number. As a matter of fact, one of my role models, I just spoke to him the other day, Kevin Patrick.
Yes.
Kevin is... he's like the big brother to me that I needed. He held me accountable, and he got me together. I came to Grambling with a 1.9 grade point average.
Yes.
Grambling State University accepted me right where I was. Yeah. And you talk about being held accountable. I was in Brown Hall.
Yes, sir.
And I had to take that Nelson Denny test, the whole 9 yards to get me to where I needed to be. But that accountability was important because when I looked around that institution, I looked in that dorm up in Pinchback Hall.
Yes, sir.
And I saw young men walking out of that building with books. You know, we weren't big on backpacks then. If your parents had a little money, your parents had a little money, and you could afford a Eddie Bauer backpack.
Right.
Oh boy, you was in high cotton, right? But I saw accountability up close and personal, and it made me work real hard. But I was so homesick. I still couldn't wrap my brain around being that far away from home. And so I struggled my freshman and sophomore year. But it was professors at that school who said, you know what, man, you're supposed to be here and you can do better. And I did my best, and I was actually able to pull it together. And fortunately for me, the president at the time when I was at Grambling was Dr. Joseph B. Johnson.
Joseph B. Johnson.
That man took me up under his wing. I had to report to his office every day. He says, he and Nathaniel Blake.
Yes.
Brother Blake, those are two men that held my feet to the fire and made sure that I walked across that stage because my mother passed away my senior year. And I wasn't going to come back to school, Mr. President. And Grambling called me. President Johnson called me. He says, no, your mother would have wanted you to finish. We're going to have your grandmother in the front row. I was senior class president.
You were. Yes, sir.
And they had my grandmother in the front row. And, man, I cried like a baby going across that stage.
Sure
but
you did.
See my grandma sitting in the audience and me looking up at the sky, thanking my mother, knowing she was watching. But I had to thank Grambling State University for pouring into me like you all did.
And that labor of love, right? That extension of grace and care and compassion. When you go back to that commencement ceremony and that call, right? How did that impact how you give back today? Because we see it through and through the arc of your career. where you've not just ascended to great heights, but you've lifted as you've climbed?
Absolutely, Mr. President. What a great question. You know, if you give me a second, I'll tell you. There was a
Yeah.
lady who was our commencement speaker, attorney. Her name was Attorney Patricia McLeod. Patricia McLeod. And she was so
Mm.
amazing. And this lady here, she came and blew the audience away. And I'll never forget, she told my class, you can do anything you want to do if you want something bad enough.
Mm.
To go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it. If you only desire it, it makes you never tired of it, makes you hold all other things far beneath it. If life seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme for it is about it, if gladly you'll sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacities, strength and sagacities, faith, hope, and confidence, stern pertinacities, if not a cold, nor famish, nor gulp, nor sickness, nor pain, nor body or brain can turn you away from that thing that you want, if dormant will grim and besiege you will beset it, then surely, Grambling State University students, you can get it. Go for it. Never forgot it.
I have chills, right? Just
Yes, sir. Never
hearing
forgot it,
you
Mr.
think
President.
about that, and I can tell it's in your heart.
It is, sir.
And the communications background and training that you received at GSU. Talk to us about the Mass Comm program and maybe what you see as the future for students who are studying communication today.
Mr. President, what you offer on your campus is something that no one could ever take away.
Yes.
What you offer on your campus is hope and faith and belief. That sign that you have on your campus, sir, that says the place where everybody is somebody, that's real talk, as the young folks
Real
would say.
talk it is.
And what I love by watching you, because I remember you coming into Grambling. I
Yes.
graduated, but I heard about you. They said he's a sharp young man, y'all. Yeah, this is one to watch. If they had a billboard or a magazine with people to watch, you're definitely in that book. And I just watched people like you who, and there was so much expectation on your life, not a whole hell of a lot, because you were raised right. You had parents
Appreciate that.
educated, and you already knew what the assignment was. But for people like me, my mama just said, go, boy, and let's see what happens. And so when I got there, man, and they took me to Mass Comm department.
Mm-hmm.
And I was such one of those ones afraid to open up to people. I was outgoing, but ladies, the guy over there said, man, you have a pretty good, decent voice. We want to put you on the radio. Man, they put me on KGRM, and they called me Hollywood Weekly.
That's where the Hollywood
Doug Williams
name.
probably know a little bit about that. I think he was
Yes.
cruising through Grambling and caught one of my shows.
Yes.
I didn't know how to act, man. My producer, I had a producer, Rory McAllister, out of Chicago.
Okay.
Rory would ship me the latest music. So I was dropping new songs on Grambling's campus, and the D9 was going crazy. Oh, can nobody understand? How's Hollywood Weekly getting all this music? Hey, and then Eddie Henderson, God rest his soul,
Beautiful song.
made me the
Yeah.
F-Sub president. I think we introduced the block parties when we came out of the women's gym.
That's right.
Man, we took it on the street right there by the laundromat. And
Good times.
you talk about turn up.
Yes.
I think our class invented get lit and turn up, because that's what they allowed us to do, man. And that place there, I got to MC the Cover Girl pageant, and it was
Several
so
years,
beautiful. I
right?
did it for 12 years straight.
Yeah. Yeah.
12 years straight. That's what y'all did for me, man.
Yes.
When I graduated and came to Vegas, they didn't know what to do with me. I told them I came from Grambling State University.
You were ready.
No experience? What you mean, no experience? my school told me I can do whatever I want to do.
Yes.
Yeah, I ain't been the same since, Mr. President.
So that's where the Hollywood comes from.
Oh, Hollywood, because I was on the radio
I've heard the
performing,
Hollywood.
sir.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Y'all allowed me to do that, Mr. President.
We'll have to dig into the archives for this episode. So let's see if we can get some footage
Yes, sir.
and some audio from
Don't
that
do that.
time.
Don't do
oh,
that.
oh, you know I'm gonna try. I'm gonna call Terry Lilly too and see if I can get some backstory.
Oh boy, that's
Just
Terry
a little
Lilly.
bit.
Love me
Absolutely.
some Terry Lilly. Man.
Yes,
That's
indeed.
my guy.
And so you speak about Grambling and the beauty of the intersection of wherever you are on life's journey, whether that's our students who are coming to Grambling State University from several different countries, students from across the United States, first generation students, legacy students. Grambling continues to polish students to their greatest luster. And we believe that as an institution, we create pathways and possibilities for students so that when they leave and enter into the global marketplace, just like you,
Yes, sir.
they're ready. So talk to me about politics. How does Lawrence Weekly get involved in politics?
You know, I one of my mentors here in Las Vegas, he's a graduate of Southern University,
Okay.
and he was a state assemblyman at the time. And so I told him, he says, Weekly, what's your goals and dreams and aspirations? I said, man, I just want to do something with my life.
Yeah.
I had no conversation about being a fireman, a doctor, a lawyer. I knew that from whence I come from, Mr. President, you know, you got to realize I was placed in foster care at 2 days old.
I remember you
I,
telling
I
me
was
that.
born to a homeless woman
Yeah.
who couldn't care for me. And so she left me in the hospital and I entered into foster care. I was adopted at 11 months old. Two people who got together, they couldn't have any more children, so they adopted me.
Yes.
My parents, who I love to death, my father wasn't a very nice man to his wife. My mother endured domestic violence at the highest level. She gave all of that up and moved into the projects. But one thing she didn't do, Mr. President, was she never instilled project dreams in her children. She told us just because you live in the projects don't live in you.
Yes, sir.
And you got to get up and do something with yourself. And so, you know, when I came from Grambling, I was feeling a little better about myself. Like I said, my mother had died my senior year. Mr. My man from F-Sub, Eddie Henderson,
Eddie
and
Henderson.
Dr. Johnson, as he was exiting out of Grambling, you know, he told me, I'm looking for the best from you, sir. Want to hear good stuff about you. And so I just came home and just said, I want to do something positive with my life. And he took me under his wing and got my first appointment to the library board of directors. And then I started working for a councilman as his chief of staff. And then, of course, a city council seat opened up because they expanded the city here. We were growing so fast. I became the first African American to represent Ward 5 in the city of Las Vegas, of about 275,000 constituents in my district. And I did that for 7 years. And then a lady, she was exiting the county commission. The governor reached out to me and says, I'd love for you to fill this seat. It had about another year on it, and then I would have to run. And so I ran, and they elected me for 13 years, and I turned out. And I like to think that God put me in a place, Mr. President, that I was able to leave a legacy. I currently serve on the Allegiant Stadium Board of Directors, working with Sandra Douglas Morgan to bring this game here. It's such a blessing. Procter & Gamble, so
Yes.
very grateful to them. So very grateful to Mark Davis with the Raiders. When Sandra went to him with the idea, he said, go for it.
Yes.
You know, and my thing with her was, all right, Sandra, you playing with my school now. I'll make sure whatever y'all do, take care of my president, take care of my team, and take care of my band. And hopefully y'all are having a good time while you're in Las Vegas. But that's what politics is all about, Mr. President, being able to build relationships. Like I have, you know, with you, you are such a graceful young man. I can't thank you enough. You're one of those ones, I can text you at midnight. I don't know when you sleep because you respond right back and you answer people, man. I think that speaks volumes to your character and your integrity. So I want to thank you.
And I thank you too. And, you know, as you were sharing your journey,
Yes, sir.
the word resilience
Yes, sir.
kept bubbling up for me. And to have that spirit, that ability to lead with empathy, right? See the best in others, connect and build those relationships. That's why we're here. That's why we can sit here at the Rio and have the president of the Rio come and speak to us, because you've laid a foundation in this city where Grambling can walk into any room with respect, right? And a level of excellence. And so we thank you for being in partnership with us. So you had this wonderful political public service career, and then, like me, had an intersection
Yes.
and found your service chapter heading over to higher education.
Yes.
Talk to us about what you've seen in the higher ed space, and
Yeah.
maybe some advice for us and our listeners who are in higher education about how to navigate in this current environment.
I was serving as a professor over at UNLV.
Okay.
And the president of CSN, our 2-year college here, we're the largest small junior college, if you will,
Okay.
here in the state of Nevada. We service about 45,000 students on all 3 of our campuses combined. And he reached out to me. He says, "Hey, Weekly, I understand you're about to term out. We were in the midst of COVID." He says, "What are you going to do next?" I said, "Man, as a matter of fact, I'm headed to Mount Charleston to go have a conversation with God. That's what I did before I became a city councilman. I drove up to Mount Charleston, which is about 25 minutes out of Las Vegas, sat on the end of a mountain, and just talked to the universe. And you'd be surprised how the universe speaks back to you.
Yes.
My grandmama used to always say, "Be still." And I love Vanessa Bell Armstrong. She say,
Yes.
"Peace,
Be still. Yes.
Whenever the Lord says peace,
Yes.
there'll be peace. And the universe spoke back to me and just said, "Be patient." And I said, and I did. And look who called me today. You did. Are you offering me a job? He says, "Yes, I'd love to have you as my chief of staff." I said, "I'd love to take it." He says, "Well, why don't you do this? Take about a month off so you can just kind of hit the reset button, and you can start in about a month. We don't even need to do the interview." And he said, "No, actually, I have to do the interview because of the faculty senate and the board."
That would be true.
Yeah. And so I said, "Well, sir, I can't take a month off. I don't make that kind of, I don't have that kind of revenue."
Right.
I said, "I can start Monday," whenever the interview process is. So he picked me up as his chief of staff, and I went in, and it's been a blessing. I am now the government affairs director and lobbyist
Okay.
for Nevada Systems of Higher Education. And my advice to you, Mr. President, is what I love about your style is you know how to meet people, and you're such a great listener. You get it. You know how to connect dots. And that's what it's really all about. I've been in rooms where people run their mouth so much because they're trying to be impressive. And what they do is they miss the message. And I think you have it figured out. You have an amazing team around you. Your vice president, Mr. Brandon, man,
Top notch.
that's 5 stars right there.
All day, every day.
That's 5 stars. Jasmine,
Yes.
oh, I
Yes.
can't put it into words.
Yes.
Mr. Kennedy, I can't put into words. Everybody on your staff that I've had to deal with, I was blown away. I'm like, where you find them people at? Yeah, great staff. And so that's a sign of a great leader. When you can give people that opportunity to spread their wings and soar, you don't have to say a word. You just show up and it's done. When Mr. Brandon hit me up and said, "Hey, Weekly, President has an assignment for you. We should, hey, I'm on it. Done. That's you. That's all you.
My heart
That's
is
my
full.
advice for you. Keep doing what you're
Yes.
doing, sir."
I appreciate that. I
Yes, sir.
appreciate that. So you and I have similar journeys, and
Yes, sir.
Rick Gallo and I were talking recently about absolutely clap it up for Brother Rick Gallo and the
Yes,
work
sir.
he's doing at the University of Louisiana system. And we had the great fortune of working together at Grambling. I
Yes, sir.
served as his COO. And one of the things that he reflected back to me was this ability to anticipate need.
Yes, sir.
And so you've seen it through this service-oriented lens.
Yeah.
And young professionals, whether it's students who are starting to look for their next role in this very different economy, right? With AI and virtual reality,
Yes,
and so much will be dependent upon knowledge workers.
Yes, sir.
So those of us who can take the interpersonal skills and the ability to communicate, advice, words of wisdom for our Grand Fam community and students about leveraging those talents that a machine will not be
Yeah.
able to replace.
I heard a number of your students speaking to that level, to the high school students that they
This
were
morning.
talking to.
Yeah.
And what really touched my heart were those international students.
Yes. Yes.
Students who are on your campus who
Yes.
didn't have a clue of where they fit in. And I love the fact that they feel so comfortable with knowing that you and your administration have opened up doors to say, if you ever feel downtrodden or feel like you just can't find your way, my door is open. Come and see, and we'll take care of you. I love that. I think that that's one of the best things that happened, and the exposure.
Yes.
That's what happened for me. Grambling State University gave me exposure. I got to go on a couple trips with Dr. Johnson. I got to go and Eddie Henderson just exposed me in that mass comm space.
Yes.
I emceed so much stuff. I got a chance. There's a picture that Las Vegas featured of me and Shirley Chisholm at a convocation. Shirley Chisholm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, first I looked at him as Perez. I said,
Yeah.
"Dang, you old dude. You sitting with Shirley Chisholm, man."
Yes. Yes.
But
yes.
my daughter and her friends and everybody who see that said, "Man, you met Shirley Chisholm?"
Mm-hmm.
I said, "This school exposed me to so many great people."
Yeah.
And to be in the T.H. Harris Auditorium and to be in the men's gym, where we turned that gymnasium into a concert hall. Man, I look today and see young people listening to Anita Baker. I introduced Anita Baker at Grambling State University on stage.
Yes.
You know, I introduced the SOS band. You know, I introduced LL Cool J at Grambling when he was just before he was real hot. We had him on campus. I don't know what kind of money they had back then, but man, they let us soar.
Yes.
And Spring Fest and Homecoming Week, and we didn't get into, do we have to put fences up around the campus and the president has to come up with some security plan. That is so awful to me,
Yeah.
But I appreciate what I heard about homecoming this year.
Thank you. What the streets say?
Everybody
What
said,
the people say?
"Oh my God, they didn't treat it like it was a jail. There were no fences." The village, that D9 village that they created.
Yes.
Everybody's talking about that, man. It was, man. I felt so bad I didn't come out, but I said, you know what? I'm gonna relieve myself because they're all coming here. This is gonna be
Yes.
part 2 of homecoming, and what you and your administration are doing and bringing to the campus is absolutely phenomenal. And so, a lot of us are recommitting ourselves to whatever we can
Appreciate
do
that.
to help our institution and keep the spirit of Grambling alive. Count us in.
Absolutely.
But,
You've brought me on a journey today, one that has certainly filled our cup. In the words of Shirley Chisholm,
yes.
if they don't give you a seat at the table, you got to bring a folding chair, right? And
folding
so
chair.
we continue to expand our table at
Yes.
Grambling State University. This has been From Intent to Influence. This is our Vanguard podcast series. You can follow us on the website at gram.edu/Vanguard. Grambling State University, the place where everybody is somebody. Dr. Lawrence Weekly, Hollywood Weekly here in Las Vegas, signing out. Thanks so much.